How's it going, guys? Happy Sunday morning. Happy week 4. Obviously, fucking wild morning so far. I'm still finishing up my ranking updates, so I'm going to be on here really quick, finishing those up, but answering your guys' questions as well, fantasy related, betting related, what have you. Obviously, the sponsor. Which direction? This direction, right there, Monkey Knife Fight. I'll go into that in a little bit later, but definitely check that out, especially if you like props. If you're someone like me who likes to combine betting and fantasy, Monkey Knife Fight is for you. Instead of worrying about all the salary, lineups and stuff like that, you just figure out, what props. You play the props and you win a lot of money. If you use the promo code Flurry, then you get a 100% deposit match up to $50. That's monkeyknifefight.com. But yeah, I'll go over that in a little bit. Right now, I'm just finishing up my rankings. I just have to tweak some wide receiver stuff. Obviously, I didn't think we would be getting Patriots news right now. I'm happy we did, but I'm going to tweak those. Definitely ask any questions you have. I'm live on Twitter and on YouTube. If you want to go type in Flurry Sports into YouTube, and actually I can share that. I'll tweet that out as well, that link. But yeah, that'd be a massive help. We're going to be doing a lot with our YouTube channel over there, and we need subscribers. So please head over there. I'm tweeting out the YouTube link right now. If you can give us a subscribe there, that would be massive. And we're going to be doing a lot of exclusive YouTube stuff as well. So it's worth your time to subscribe over there. For fantasy, for betting, for football, for basketball, we have some people covering golf, NASCAR. So lots to love over on YouTube. But yeah, give that a follow, and then we will be doing a lot of stuff there. Ask any questions you have, just tweaking some last-second rankings here, and then we can get into more specifics, more injury news, more Monkey Knife Fight stuff. There's lots of money to be made there. Obviously, everybody's confused this week because we didn't know which games were even going to be played, which means there is value. Gotta love value. These are my favorite kind of weeks to play DFS and stuff like that too. I like the chaos, and I like that people don't know what they're doing, because I am always confident. Not always right, but I'm always confident, so I always go in, and I don't know, these are usually the good weeks. I also like that we have a double Monday night slate now. That is going to be huge. But yeah, just tweaking my rankings right now, and then those will be live on flurrysports.org. You can ask me any questions while I do this. I can't expect it's going to take much longer than 10 minutes here. I hope it doesn't. If it does, that probably means there has been more news, and I don't want that. I do have a couple sleepers this week, which I'm excited about. And those will be, I think, pretty easy to pick out if you go in. Look at the rankings here in a second. One in that Chicago Colts game, though. That one is interesting because no one's talking about it. And it just makes too much sense from an X's and O's standpoint that he would have a good game. I have higher usage. But yeah, you got to go check those out. I'm mostly doing bottom. I guess there's a couple sleepers in that game at the wide receiver position. There's just so much value at wide receiver, especially this week. It's crazy. By the way, if you guys can hear me, that'd be cool to tell me too. I should. I mean, I see my levels going, so I should be good to go on that front. Um, 30 wide receivers to go. Home stretch. Both Saints wide receivers seem undervalued this week as well, which doesn't make sense given the matchup, given what they've already done this season, given a lot of things. We are almost there, I feel. Sorry for these last second silent changes. There's just a lot going on this morning, as you all know. Lots to address. Come on. The Fantasy Pros ranker sucks, dude. Constantly glitches. I don't even know where it was. I think I was up here. I don't know, I'm so scatterbrained, I'm just gonna publish these. Quarterback, defense, kicker. I think we're good to go. Okay. Rankings live figured out. That's cool. We might as well tweet those out here. I'll let you guys watch while I do that. We will address Monkey Knife Fight in a little bit, but for right now, let's talk about rankings here. Tweet these updated rankings out. Cool. Okay. Let's get some people in here. Let's talk about some of this fantasy slate. There's a lot going on. I might as well tweet that again, too. Let's get some people in here. If you're watching, please share this. Because if there's people watching, we will do more. Obviously. Whoops, I thought my caps lock was on. Okay. Everyone who's in here, let's talk about Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight is the sponsor for this stream. If you go to Monkey Knife Fight at the link shown above here, that bit.ly link, that'll cover you. You don't need to do a promo code at all. Otherwise, go to monkeyknifefight.com, use the promo code Flurry at deposit. You get a 100% deposit match up to $50. Might as well. I mean, even if you deposit $10, get another $10 to play with. It's free money. And we can just show you some of the stuff here. Which game should we look at here? Which game has some value? That would be fun. Let's talk about Vikings-Texans. Okay, so this is what Monkey Knife Fight is. Instead of worrying about, building a lineup with a salary cap like DraftKings and FanDuel and competing against other players who could get lucky and beat you, you're competing with yourself and you're playing one of these contests here, which are made up of props. As you can see, more or less, you get 3 times your money. You just got to pick 2 right. All the way up to 35x. 35X, I always put something in for, never know. I have, for the past two, I've been one prop away from hitting it, which is frustrating. But as you can see, this is a more or less 35X. If you're thinking of it as a parlay, which is what this is, basically, you need to get all of these right, and then you get 35 times whatever you put on it. So, passing yards, receptions, receiving yards, rushing yards, receiving yards. It's tough. If I had to do this blindly really quickly, I would go more, probably less, and then less for Randall Cobb as well. I think Cook has a good day. I think he probably has 150 total yards. I don't know if he's going to hit 81 rushing yards. I anticipate them playing from behind in this game. And he's going to be involved in the receiving game. But, yeah. This one, though, this has a little wiggle room, almost kind of like a round robin bet, but it's not a bet. We're just playing these contests. Again, only 4 of the over-unders that we were just talking about in the last one, but you only need to hit 3 out of the 4 to cash, and it's 2.5 times your money. Some of these is just like, okay, yeah, this is just free money. If you want to build a game script, and you can, play multiple contests and build different game scripts. So if we anticipate the Texans coming out, winning this game like I fully anticipate, I think they're going to have a lead pretty much throughout. Vikings secondary is even more beat up, and they don't have a pass rush. Their secondary was bad to begin with. Offensively, they're not very good. So I'm guessing the Texans come out, they win. Vikings, keep it competitive because Texans defense isn't very good either. So I'm expecting a lot of offense. But I think Deshaun Watson could pass for 300 yards here, okay? And I think that's with a lead. I think Will Fuller is a big part of that. Now, if they're playing with a lead, then I would assume Kirk Cousins has to pass quite a bit for the Vikings. Let's go over 5.5 receptions for Adam Thielen, okay, because, they're chasing points. And while Dalvin Cook should be able to find plenty of space, I think his rushing average is probably going to be pretty good in this game. He may have to run less. And I know Gary Kubiak probably leans on the run longer than he should in this game just because he's a bad coach. But I'm going to go less. I could see this being a game where he gets like 75 rushing yards, 85 receiving yards, and he misses out on both of those bonuses for DFS, for single, or for season long. If you have bonuses in your league, it's frustrating. It's a good game, but it's like if he had, 10 more yards one way, 15 yards the other way, you could have had an extra 6 points or whatever your bonuses are. I could see that happening. And I like this. Let's just say I put $2 on it. I cash 3 out of the 4 of these, right? So let's say Dalvin Cook somehow breaks off a long run, and maybe everything we predicted for game script is correct, but he had a long run in the fourth quarter that was 60 yards and a touchdown, and that put him over, which is frustrating, but that won't kill us as long as we have the other 3 correct. Submit it, turn $2 into $5, and if you deposit $10 with the link above, use the promo code Flurry if you want instead of clicking that link. And you get, deposit $10, get an extra free $10. Put 2 on that, what I just showed you. You have 8 extra free bucks. You have 10 that you deposited. And the 2 of the free dollars you just turned into 5. Pretty confident in that. Easy as that. Just super, super simple stuff here. We are 40 minutes until lock. We got some fun stuff going here. Fun slate. Might as well look at the news here. See what else got rolled out. NFL moved the time of the Packer Monday night game a little bit later. Not a big deal. People tweeting questions. Guess what? I am not going to answer those. Only people in the stream. It's not too hard to figure out. No DMs, no tweets. Come in here, Ask a fucking question in the stream. Pretty simple, I would say. I need to change this chat here. But yeah, let's go back to this here. I can go over other injury news, I suppose. NFL Week 4 injury report. Okay. Was this updated? Usually CBS is pretty good at that. Yeah, it is. Okay. I need to update some of my bets for betting pros as well. I'll do that while we do this, but we can just start with Ravens, Washington. Players out. Nobody on the Ravens from what it looks like here. Cole Holcomb, Steve Sims, Chase Young, Bryce Love out for Washington. Most notable, obviously, Chase Young. That's just a pass rusher. That's someone that is capable of collapsing the pocket on Lamar Jackson. Someone athletic enough to possibly not let him get outside of him. So while that defensive line for Washington is deep, that is a big loss. Other than that, though, Steve Sims being out, yeah, he's their second best wide receiver, but it doesn't really matter when you have a quarterback that terrible. And second best wide receiver isn't saying a whole lot. Chargers Buccaneers here. Lots out for the Chargers. Their right side of their offensive line, Brian Bulaga, Trey Turner both out. Mike Williams out. Tyrod obviously still out. But really, Tampa Bay's pass rush isn't bad, man. Their defensive line isn't bad. Having Bulaga and Trey Turner both out, bad news. In terms of just running the football, that's bad news. Brian Bulaga, terrific pass and run blocking right tackle. And then Mike Williams, that's their field stretcher. This is not good. Not good for the Chargers at all. Buccaneers, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin are both out. Two big parts of their offense, but boy, this is the week where they can afford it. And by the way, not listed on this injury report, but Melvin Ingram on IR for the Chargers. That hurts their pass rush dramatically. Seahawks Dolphins. Again, just going on what's updated here, CBS updated an hour ago. Looks like Jamal Adams, Quentin Dunbar, both out, as is Jordan Brooks. Chris Carson, I believe Chris Carson's going to give it a go. And I would assume he's pretty close to a full workload, actually. Carlos Hyde with a shoulder issue, he's questionable. I think he actually may be more questionable than Chris Carson, which is strange after seeing that dirty play from the Cowboys that he got fined, $6,522, I believe. Just bullshit. If Carlos Hyde isn't able to go, then Travis Homer is going to get a few extra snaps, but it's not anything that I am excited about. For the Dolphins, I think it's Kevon Frazier, I think that's how you say his name, as well as Byron Jones, both doubtful. No Jones is a big deal because Russell Wilson has been on fire, obviously, and no Byron Jones is down a terrific corner that can at least shadow somebody. So it's just Xavier Howard back there. Should be the Seattle Seahawks show yet again offensively. I think Dolphins offense has plenty of talent to move the ball in this game as well, but boy, there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one, I think. Let me tweet this out. Yet again, the stream. By the way, if you're watching, please share it. Please share it. Like I said, the more views, the more people come to watch this stuff, the more we're going to do it. And it's going to be more than just me. If you hate me, whatever, I totally get it. There's going to be maybe a cast of 5 or 6 different people that come rotate throughout here. But if we don't get the views on here, just full transparency, we'll stay over at Sportscaster, whatever, where we get views. If you like us, show us. I just tweeted that out. Yeah, go share that tweet, please. As we talk about the Vikings-Texans, I already said, we were talking about Monkey Knife Fight, predicting game script, what I thought would happen. I think both of these defenses suck. I think the Vikings defense got even worse this week. Cornerbacks Mike Hughes, Chris Boyd, both doubtful. And if they don't play, man, they suck. They're not a good football team. They have no pass rush. Their secondary was terrible. And now they lose 2 cornerbacks. So have fun. Have a day Deshaun Watson. First time of the season. He's probably not running for his life. And he will have Will Fuller pretty healthy out there. Fuller has 150-yard potential. Brandon Cooks has 100-yard potential. I think Randall Cobb isn't necessarily his best matchup. Just because I think the Texans are going to be able to take the top off the defense at will. And if that's the case, then it's those wide receivers, those outside wide receivers that are going to benefit. While I don't think Randall Cobb's the play underneath, I think it's going to be David Johnson. I think this is a get-right game for him. And we know Bill O'Brien is going to force feed him the ball at any point he can, just to make him look better for trading him or trading away DeAndre Hopkins in exchange for him. Texans, nobody's listed out. They have a couple people listed as questionable, but not a big deal. Saints, Lions, this was a scare. We thought this was going to be another COVID game to get postponed, but it wasn't. But it's still a scare for Saints fans. They have pretty much everyone good listed on the injury report. Michael Thomas, Andrus Peat, Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins, Marcus Davenport, Jared Cook, all out. Not even doubtful. They're all out. Whew, okay. So both of their starting corners, their starting guard, their starting tight end, their starting defensive end, and then Michael Thomas, who clearly is the most important person in this offense, it seems like. You can argue Alvin Kamara, but you certainly can't argue that it's Drew Brees at this point in his career. But good luck. Good luck in this game against Detroit. Saints are still favored. I think that they're being favored essentially because of their name and because we've seen the Lions drop leads. But they're not being favored because they're the better team. They're not being favored because they're the healthier team. How bold do I want to go here? I don't think they're that much better coached either. That's a bold statement, but I don't think Sean Payton is necessarily a mastermind by any means. I think he's had a couple good seasons and he rides off of that. But Matthew Stafford should be able to do whatever he wants, targeting those corners. Offensively, we see Adam Troutman come in, the rookie tight end. He's going to be starting most likely. He may not be the starter. It might be Josh Hill, but Hill's more of a blocker. He'll catch some passes, but Troutman's going to see quite a bit of snaps. We're going to see a lot of Traquan Smith and Emmanuel Sanders. I was saying I thought both Saints wide receivers are undervalued this week. Certainly seems that way. I understand one had a good week in week 2, the other in week 3. I think they both can in this game. Especially targeting a poor Detroit secondary. Like, they're not a good secondary, so whatever. We're fine. Lions, though. Kenny Golladay, another week in. He's a little bit healthier. He should be fine. He should be fine in this matchup going against 2 backup cornerbacks, right? So, if you are a bettor, I think go ahead and put something, at least something, on this Detroit money line. I think you have to. I think it's your responsibility to at this point. I am going to take some bets off the table for that Betting Pros competition right now. That's what I'm going to be doing. it glitching? What's going on here? Fantasy Pros, you fucking suck. Not employed by them anymore, not really. So I'm gonna say my mind. By the way, thanks for the writing gig that you guys passed me over with. Yeah, Detroit +3, man, that's a tough one. I don't know if I want to bet. The only way I want to bet this game, I think, is to bet Detroit money line, strangely enough. I don't even want to take the points. I want the odds. I'm not going to put a big bet on it. But I don't need to play around with the spread. I think either Detroit wins this game or they don't, which is a stupid statement. But in that, I mean, I don't think they win, or I don't think they lose by 2. I think they're going to come in and beat the snot, or, at home beat the snot out of the Saints and embarrass them a little bit. Or they're just going to fucking blow it. I don't think 3 points are going to make the difference in this game. I think the line is probably pretty inaccurate, but I don't know which direction. Lions can be the Lions no matter who they face. And the Saints are clearly a mirage or whatever from last season. They're not who they once were. I'm going to take the spread off of Detroit, keep that money line on there. I'm going to keep the under as well. Houston -3.5, take that all day, every day. The total is dropped. I don't know if I need to play that total, but I would assume that's a high-scoring game, obviously. Very little pass rush. Defenses suck. Playmakers on offense. I wouldn't say either offense is particularly good, but they have playmakers, and against these defenses, single players can make scoring plays. It can be, an 80-yard run from Dalvin Cook. I think he's very capable of winning possessions by himself, which isn't usually the case in the NFL, but these teams aren't very good. Buccaneers -7, I think take it. This Chargers defense keeps getting beat up. And their offense is bad, man. Their offense is not very good, and they lost people. Baltimore, I have it locked in at 12.5. It went up to 14, so I'm going to keep the 12.5. I'm going to keep the under 47. That moved down to 45. I think Baltimore could put up 30-something on this Washington defense, which I believe is very, very good. But I don't anticipate Washington finding the end zone more than once. Here's a game that scares me. I want no part of it. Arizona at Carolina. We can talk those injuries really quick. Let me find those, because there's a lot. There's a lot of injuries here. Okay, for Arizona, talking about who is out. Budda Baker, Chris Banjo, 2 safeties out. Last check was Kirkpatrick. Cornerback, he was doubtful from last I looked. This says questionable, but it sounded like more of doubtful. Devon Kennard may be closer to a true 50-50. If anyone has, I can look that up. See if Arizona, is that a late game though? Or is that early? It's early, so there should be something. Cardinals inactives, week 4. Here we go. Inactive reports, week 4. Look at us go. Cardinals. Chris Banjo, Budda Baker, Devon Kennard's out. Okay. And Russell Okung for the Panthers. Tackle is out. That's tough, man. That's tough. This is going to be... Like I said, this isn't a game I really care to touch. I don't think the Cardinals are very good. And I know the Panthers aren't very good. This has shootout potential written all over it. Which team do you want to take in a shootout? And I don't think there's an easy answer. I will say Teddy Bridgewater threw a pass further than 10 yards just 4 times last week. I think the game manager thing with him is very, very accurate. And, I don't think he's the future for the Panthers. I think he's doing a fine job. I love Teddy Bridgewater, but he is not the quarterback for this offense. That much is very clear. Very, very clear. I'm going to keep the over in that game just because Cincinnati hosting Jacksonville. Cincinnati minus 2.5. Let's see what the final inactives for that game is, because that is a situation that I need to look at. Okay. For Jacksonville, Hoshka's out. Center, Brandon Linder's out. Daniel Akuwale, I believe is how you pronounce it, is out. For Cincinnati, Logan Wilson, Geno Atkins, Mackenzie Alexander, all out, as well as John Ross. Tavion Williams is out, which tells me they're fine with Joe Mixon. I know there's a weird injury scare there. Being added to the injury report Friday for a chest injury. Having Williams out tells me Mixon's good to go. So have full confidence starting him. Why is this not updating? Fantasy Pros blows. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm fine with betting Cincinnati in this game minus 2.5. I just think Joe Burrow finally has a game that he doesn't get hit every other pass attempt. And the Jacksonville secondary is crap. They're not very good. Should we end the stream and come back on with a new title? Because y'all are not doing a good job here. This is not... You're not doing your thing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to exit this. We'll be right back, but do better. Disappointed in y'all. Disappointed.